Hello and welcome to the latest edition of POSH America. I am Pete Urich and I am your host. This week I'm doing something a little bit different, although it's the same exact objective that I always have. My objective with this show is to bring in new POSH fans here in the States. But this week, rather than just talking to the general soccer fan, I am talking to one person in particular. Even though I'd love to have hundreds of people join, I am speaking today to Craig Calcaterra. Now, here's what I know about Craig is he went to a bar in Ohio someplace, met a POSH fan from the United States, and was bought a beer, and then we won. Oh my gosh, so exciting. In the last moment, picking off a win. And he was hooked. He brought home the scarf. And now it's about 2 weeks later. Craig, how does it feel to be a POSH fan now? Well, as somebody who has supported the POSH for as long as I have, Craig, I am going to give you a little insight into what it's like to support the POSH, because of the fact that I'm going to liken this to a relationship with a possible woman. You go to a bar, you meet someone, you have a great time. It's all excitement at the beginning. You come back to that same bar a couple weeks later and hang out with that same girl, and it's a huge disappointment. Now, what are you supposed to do with those mixed emotions? Well, having been associated with this particular female for a very long time, I can tell you exactly what you're going to get. All right. First of all, recognize a few things that maybe even some regular POSH fans may not think about particularly on a regular basis. All right. So first of all, we are a championship club who has been stuck in the League One for a long time. All right. And POSH in the past has tended never to make things easy on ourselves. We have a tendency to, last year, leave things to the last minute, make it extremely dramatic. It's a little bit difficult to be a POSH fan at times because of that fact. We tend to beat teams that we shouldn't beat. And then we tend to lose to teams that we shouldn't lose to. And then we go on these amazing runs where we're absolutely thrashing teams that are near the top of the table, 4-1, 4-0, those types of things. And then the next week, it's back down to reality and getting beat by the team that's in dead last. It's a bit frustrating at times, but it actually also has a sense of intrigue to it. All right, but what I will say to you, Craig, is that even though that's been a very steady pattern for POSH in the past, I am going to suggest that you might be coming into the maturation of this particular female, where she's ready to settle down and be a lot more stable rather than the ups and downs. I know that POSH has been relatively stable over the last 8 years. We've been right around the playoff places and everything like that. But ultimately, the whole entire thing is we are at this stage in our life where we are ready to settle down in the championship and see what happens. All right. Listen to what I have to say, Craig. All right. Our one owner, Darren McAnthony, is a real estate guy. That's where he got his start. That's where he made his millions and why he was able to buy our club at all. What is his major overarching thought process? Buy, sell, or buy low and sell high. That is the way that he thinks. And that's why he's been so successful in bringing in the young and hungry players and then selling them off. And that has been his mode of thinking for a very long time. And it's worked out extremely well. We were a buying but also selling club, because in League One, you really can't hold on to your quality players. You need to let them go because of the fact that you just don't have the financial backing in order to pay them loads and loads of money. Now, there's been a change over the last few years, and it's been a crucial change because of the people who got involved with the club. All right. Jason Neal, Dr. Jason Neal, sorry about that, Dr. Jason, and Randy Stewart. Oh my gosh, did I just forget Randy's last name? Randy Stewart, Randy Stewart Thompson. Whew. All right, came up with it. But anyway, these guys, what are they? They are venture capitalists in general, entrepreneurs, if you will, but more than anything, venture capitalists, I think, is their major thing. They invest money into companies at their very, very beginning in order to see them flourish over time. Now, what have these two done? In particular, Dr. Jason Neal has gotten involved with the academy and also in the schools program and those types of things. And that has been his baby, and building that thing up. Now, because of the fact that we have a stronger academy that is now category 2, and it's going in the right direction in order to keep us building young players of our own, now we are in a better position where we have to do less of that buy low, sell high, and have these players move on from our club. Because of the fact that they're our own assets, we're actually able to move things in a different direction. And also, Randy Stewart Thompson's area of expertise seems to be in dealing with governments and all that stuff, and that's where we're talking into the stadium. So now you've got the best of both worlds. You've got that salesman type of mentality that got us to where we are to a certain extent, and now that seed stage thing that is coming in underneath, that is going to give us a lot more stability. Because if you think about it, the idea behind the real estate market is that the real estate market's going to go up and it's going to go down. There's going to be some times where you're going to be doing extremely well, and there's some times where you're doing extremely poorly. It's just, you're at the whim of the market to a certain extent. And DMAC has done a very nice job of reading the market relatively well. But the thing is bringing in those seed stage people who are looking at the business from a build from the ground up type of scenario. It's a totally different ball game, and having both of those sides be strong and having us now in the championship where we can attract in more fans and also getting in different level of player into our academy and things like that. So all of those things adding up to a much more stable young lady that we've met at the bar. So I know you might be a little bit disheartened by the results. Craig, don't lose heart. We are going to be fine. Right now, the main thing that we are missing is a little bit more belief from the players in the fact that they truly belong. There are some players, and I'm sure that it has a little bit to do with their pedigree and maybe what they read on social media. God, I hope they don't read anything on social media. But the idea is that Dan Butler, there's no reason why that guy cannot be a championship level outside back. He absolutely can be. But you saw it in the first weekend. He didn't believe in who he was as a player enough to play at that level. He thought that maybe it was too much. And you can see there's inklings of it. And that's why you lose games in that last minute, because of the fact that you just are putting in so much energy into the idea of, I don't know if we can do it. I don't know if we can do it. You're hanging on by a thread. There are some teams in this division that don't hang on by a thread. They know that they're going to win, or they have the belief in the fact that I've been in the championship for 5 years and therefore I belong here. We haven't gotten that belief just yet, but it's this far away, I feel. We're going to be there. We're going to stay up. We are going to start beating teams like the West Brom game. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it. I feel like Kisby right now. I didn't get to watch it because of the fact that I was working that day. But regardless, we are going to stay up because of the fact that we have finally matured into what we always could have been, a stable championship club. And it's the mixture of our salesman, chairman, presidente, whatever he's calling himself these days, and the build from the bottom up type of mentality with our other two owners. I know that DMAC did all that he could at the beginning, and he had a very shrewd plan for 7 years, making it to the Premiership. It didn't work out. Do not hold that against him. He was young and didn't understand the whole entire scope of what he was getting himself into. But I think he's finally got the right team of people around him to make this club what it can be. And then Darren Ferguson, I truly believe he is a championship manager at the moment. And the players are going to buy in. The players are going to start to believe. All it's going to take is the right set of results and circumstances to get players. I don't think Norburn has actually a problem believing. He seems to rate himself, as has been said before. But players like Jack Marriott and JCH and George Grant and Joe Ward, et cetera, et cetera. These players are going to continue to believe. The more we chip away at those results where we're not going to let that one go. We're going to get a goal in the late minutes rather than conceding a goal. And we're going to go on a run. Craig, be ready for a ride, because if you stay as a POSH fan, it's going to be fun. It's not going to be comfortable. Let me just put it that way. Yeah, it's not going to be comfortable. You're going to sometimes want to tear your hair out, but it's always going to be a good time. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. But if you're up for it, this could be the team for you. But if you're expecting a smooth sailing, we're going to get promoted to the Premiership without a problem, make Fulham your team. Norwich next year, possibly, if they come down, they're a nice safe bet that they're going to rubber band back and forth. Those would be your safer bets. But POSH is a team on the rise, and if you're willing to stick it out, you can be one of those people like myself in 5-6 years when they make it to the Prem, and you can say, I've been a POSH fan for a long time now. That's going to be all I'm going to say for you right now, Craig. Hopefully you stick it out, and we'd love to have you. POSH America signing out. Have a great day.